Okay. Good evening, folks. This is Deb and Dave, and this is a short take. So we have a couple of these tonight, but we're going to start with a conversation about a nonprofit group called the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. And I had the privilege of seeing these people march in gay pride in Boston years ago. And suddenly they seem to have gotten the dander up of the bigots on the planet and are currently under attack by the Catholic Church. And we're going to fight back on that issue. So here's Dave.
Here's a few things that you do when you encounter judgmental people when it comes to how people live their lives, whether it be about LGBTQ or minorities or women, what they do with their bodies, any of that. There's a couple things you can do. Number one, you can take the piss out of them through humor. That's been a tactic used throughout history, whether it be Anita Bryant getting a pie in the face, to Monty Python, Life of Brian, also the use of the arts with John Lennon with the song Imagine. And by the way, the church asked John Lennon to change Imagine No Religion to Imagine One Religion. And he told them basically to piss off, that completely defeated the whole purpose of the song. Second thing is that you use your consumer power. If you don't like what's going on with a certain issue, don't buy a company's product. Okay? If you don't like the fact that Bush Beer is supporting LGBTQ rights, or Target, or all of a sudden Chick-fil-A, which I think is hilarious because I don't think that they're pro-gay by any stretch of the imagination, don't buy their products.
By the way, that has been going on, because I will say one thing for the right that I have been trying to get the left to do forever is boycott. The left doesn't have any clue about how to boycott.
Right.
The right is sending Bush Beer into the tanks by not buying their product. So
Target, Jack Daniels.
Right. I mean, I don't know what's going on with everything else, but clearly the right doesn't have any taste in beer anyway, if they're drinking that beer. And, they've stopped buying it in droves. And right. I believe in some places a case of Bud Light is now going for $3 because they're trying to get rid of it. They can't sell it any other way. So this is what people need to understand. It's a very effective technique, and the left could use a little bit of inspiration on that count. Because we tried to get the left to boycott a number of things over the past 6 years and can't seem to generate any action there. So that's just an aside, okay?
However, some of this consumer power is actually showing now. And one of the examples of that is the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. They are a group of transgender and gay men who dress as nuns and do irreverent shows and also do activist work. We have their webpage as a source. They've been doing this since 1979. They've also been working with the Los Angeles Dodgers for at least 10 years, to the point where the Dodgers wanted to honor them. Now, the clergy went nuts. They threw up their arms in protest, blah, blah, blah. The Dodgers pulled back, and guess what happened? There was a public outcry. So they re-invited them, which was, there you go. That is consumer action. Now, we have several people, the Catholic Church being one of them, and Deb and I.
Well, he didn't get me started.
Deb and I did respond to a page of this whoever, Cardinal Baron or what, Bishop, whatever his name is. It's on here. The Roman Catholic or the Catholic Church has no business talking about morality. They covered up child sex abuse for decades. Decades. And I want
They covered it up, but they have prevented law enforcement from bringing charges against most of these people. They shifted them from parish to parish so that they could reoffend with all new groups of youth, and they have a absolutely no moral standing whatsoever when they're talking about a group of transgender cosplay activists. Okay, to come down on a group like that after everything that they have actually not only perpetrated but fostered and covered up is absolutely, it would be wrong to just even call it hypocritical. It's not hypocritical. It's way worse than that. They're enablers of pedophilia. Okay. And let's make one thing abundantly clear, because there are right wingers like Matt Walsh saying that they weren't pedophiles. The Catholic Church has a gay priest problem.
right.
Gays and pedophiles are not the same thing. This is not about gay priests offending. This is about the fact that the church has been so protected and so unquestioned for years that pedophiles actually gravitated to the church because there is a consistent flow of youth and nobody whatsoever to monitor the behavior of priests. Period.
Now,
I'm done. Sorry.
well, not yet, because here's the second part of this. The Catholic Church, Fox News, a bunch of whoever are calling this group the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. They have the balls to call them a hate group. Okay. So the Catholic Church, who basically says, oh, we accept you, but we just condemn your lifestyle. Not for nothing, that's stochastic terrorism by condemning their lifestyle, because they're basically giving people a reason to harm them. I don't care what they say. All right. And they have never, to my knowledge, condemned violence against the LGBTQ community.
No, they haven't.
Never. All right. And on top of that, I have an example, not of a Catholic pastor, but of a pastor who basically said it's okay to shoot gays in the head. Okay. This is not okay. So for anyone to have the balls to call this group who does charity work, who's worked with globally, by the way, and worked with large organizations, sports organizations across the world to help people, to call them a terrorist, or no, I'm sorry, a hate group. No.
By the way, they've also never been accused of nor shown to have done harm to anyone, quite frankly.
Much less children.
More than we can say about the church. Okay, and I'm not just talking about the Catholic Church. I was born Catholic, all right? I am a non-believer, but I was born Catholic. I'm talking about the Southern Baptist Church. I'm talking about churches across the globe in Ireland, in other countries.
Yep.
I have a list of whistleblowers who blew the whistle on church sexual abuse and were actual legitimate whistleblowers. You know what? I lived in Boston when the Spotlight team uncovered all of this. I had a friend whose uncle was one of the worst offending priests in the entire state. Okay? I know. I saw this stuff firsthand. So spare me all of the freaking bull.
And not only did they do that, and by the way, Spotlight not only shed light on abuse in the Catholic denomination, but all of a sudden, all this dirt on, what was it, the Houston Chronicle? Yeah, and the southern, I can't
It
remember
opened the
which one it was.
floodgates. It opened the
It
floodgates.
opened the floodgate. It was the Southern Baptists, the
Yep,
Episcopals, everybody,
yep,
everybody,
yep,
because the church gave predators an in
right,
to abuse.
right,
And by the way, not only children, but women as well,
right,
by the way. And on top of that, the Catholic Church, and Deb knows firsthand about this, has denied food and aid to people based on their sexual and gender identity.
when I was homeless in the early 2000s with two small children, they denied me food assistance. Okay. Because we were a non-traditional family. So stop, please. You're talking to someone here who has experienced this stuff and seen this stuff firsthand. None of this bullshit works on me.
Right. So if anybody on YouTube that objects to our comments, I don't know if we should show the comments, but objects to our comments on a YouTube, whatever, we have it in the source if you want to take a look. But we basically said exactly what we're saying on here now. You have the balls to call that group a hate group when you have shown hate towards the LGBTQ community forever. And the only basic thing that you can do in defense is call it out, call out the hypocrisy and the violence that you're advocating, and take the piss out of you through humor, which they've been doing forever. You know, as I said, Anita Bryant getting pied in the face. All of a sudden, she wasn't taken seriously at all. All her freaking world fell apart. Or, and your consumer power. And speak up. That's not everything, but it's something.
Yeah. You got to do more than just sit around posting on social media. I'm just saying.
Right. But I saw on that one YouTube video that I showed to Deb, and she made her comment. Everybody, oh, good for you. Oh, they're getting away with this. Oh, blah, blah, blah. You got to be kidding me. They did nothing wrong.
Right. Unlike the Catholic Church.
They're helping people.
Right.
Everybody, unlike the Catholic Church.
Right.
They're not judging people, unlike the Catholic Church. They're not harming people, unlike religious groups all over the world have for forever. So that's what we have to say about this. And the right wing loves this kind of stuff, loves to attack groups like this because they're different. They're a minority.
Well, I can tell
easy.
you that if you're on Twitter right now, that it's Pride Month, the hate has amped up, and the ugly accusations and commentary from the likes of Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz.
Tenfold.
Increased. Matt Walsh, all of these nitwits. Charlie Kirk, who, by the way, managed to partner up with a registered sex offender to fund a group that actually teaches children how to be MAGA. That's okay, though, because, he's a right winger and they're helping us. They're not helping children. But let me also just say that I am having the pleasure of posting every single day. As a group, we're doing the Gay Pride Month LGBTQ heroes, and everybody gets a visit from me every day by post right on their timelines. And we're going to keep doing this all month long. So that's where we are. I will
keep pushing it. By the way, that's how Mike Pence was shut up in Indiana years ago when the NCAA shoved it down his throat and said, we'll pull out of Indiana. When you have companies talking about pulling out of a state, same thing with Florida and Disney. So keep hammering this and use your consumer power. It works. If Chick-fil-A is changing its policy, you know, you know it's working. Now, you make your decision on
I
Chick-fil-A.
still ain't, I still ain't,
I'm
yeah.
still not going to buy there, but you know, at least you know, like
Trust
on
them.
the surface, they're doing this. We're making some headway. So thanks.
All right, we'll see you guys soon.